Welcome to the Nerd Party.
It can travel anywhere in time and space.
Off we go into time and space!
So all of time and all of space is sitting out there.
Welcome to Time and Space, one married couple's adventure through the Doctor Who universe. I'm Jessica Nunn.
And I'm her enigmatic companion, Phillip Gilfus.
Now, darling, what makes you enigmatic?
I stroke my beard.
You do stroke your beard. Look at that.
Now, we listened to a Big Finish production, as we are wont to do. This time it was Phobos.
Yes.
Another 8th Doctor audio adventure. We should actually listen to a non-8th Doctor adventure one day, but why?
I think it is worth getting a lot of, because we don't get a lot of the 8th Doctor, being as how he just got that one film. So I think we're making up for that by listening to our 8th Doctor.
But yeah, I thought it was a fun adventure, one I would recommend. I believe it was another 99p special, I believe. But anyway, it was very good. Just sort of random 8th Doctor adventure with
Sheridan Smith again.
Right, and with very different, characters. It takes place in the future, or at least Earth's future, because it's on Phobos, as the name might imply.
Indeed,
and so one of Mars's moons. And it's a little adventure planet, sort of ice, high adrenaline, extreme sports kind of place. And then
what do they call the...
Drennies,
yes.
Adrenaline junkies.
Yes, adrenaline junkies. They call them Drennies, and they're all heading to this planet to find all of their extreme ice sports, except...
Dun, dun, dun.
Big Monster.
Yes, Big Monster. But anyway, it's definitely one I would recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed that one.
We also had an interesting experience. We were over in Durham at the Durham Performing Arts Center the other day. I was wearing my Doctor Who shirt.
All of the new
logo.
13th Doctor logo stuff, yeah.
And got approached by a high school, or at least maybe college-age young man.
Yeah, I would have thought high school. I'd probably part of his high school drama department who was very interested, very excited to see the new logo.
But yeah, he said he was making his way through Classic Who, which I thought was interesting. He was going... chronologically, so I think he was with the 3rd Doctor, he said, or I believe so, but so he didn't know much about the 4th Doctor or 5th Doctor companions, because I was referencing our previous show about Adric, and he's like, oh, I don't know about Adric.
Not spoilers, spoilers, which is always fun to hear 30 years after the fact, if not
40,
longer, for somebody new to be turned on to it and not want the spoilers. Mm-hmm. And of course we believe that we saw this student later in the week as well, because North Carolina theater is a small world, to say the least. Yes. Mm-hmm. And we think we saw him performing in the Hamilton sing-along we went to, doing a fantastic job.
As James Madison and Hercules Mulligan.
Yes. So that was a lot of fun.
Yes, this is not our Hamilton podcast that we could do one. But.
We could definitely do a Hamilton podcast, but we won't. Not tonight, anyway.
Now, darling, I have a surprise. Which
I understand that you do. It is. I assume maybe this is what has to do with the enigmatic companion part.
Exactly. So we are releasing this show on Wednesday, May 23rd. Do you know what May 24th is, darling?
No. Okay,
well, this is going to be very interesting for our listeners, because this is going to be a visual surprise, but nevertheless, I hope it goes to audio delight. So...
Well, this is... Oh! It's Red Nose Day!
It
you
is
bought us noses!
I did. It'll be Red Nose Day on May 24th. So as we talked about in our previous episode about Doctor Who charity specials, of course, it's been going on in the UK for many years, but it's a little newer here in the US of A. But anyway, so we asked people to certainly support that. It's a great charity for child poverty around the world, and so we ask that you support Red Nose Day as much as you can. Go online, buy a nose. If you're in America, you can go to Walgreens, which is where I got our two noses that no one can see us wearing right now.
But we will take a selfie and post it somewhere where people can see it. I can't actually, it's completely, I can't talk while I'm wearing this.
I was going to say, I'll let you take it off for now.
I'm kind of enjoying it at the same time. These are very well made, actually. These are, this is nice. Yes. So we'll post a selfie so you can see us in our red noses. And you do the same. Post pictures of you and your red noses. We want to see those.
Yes.
Great causes to support.
Exactly.
So, there are 3 simple words that can cause the Doctor Who fandom to go instantly Beatlemania crazy. Captain Jack Harkness.
Yay.
Yay. He first arrived with the 9th Doctor and Rose, but would go on to helm his own series, Torchwood, and would return to Doctor Who with the 10th Doctor and beyond. He is a character that is mysterious, sexual, bold, and more. And so we're going to talk all things Jack and the man who portrays him, John Barrowman.
Now, interesting to talk about Jack. Of course, obviously. I mean, I should go ahead and admit, it's probably the first Doctor Who cosplay I ever did. I bought, and I actually can't remember where, it may have been eBay or something, but I bought a Captain Jack coat. Which, of course, is not screen accurate because I'm told John Barrowman's allergic to wool, so his is more of a cloth-looking trench coat, but, of course, that kind of coat would be more wool, and so I sort of have that coat, and so, of course, his is very easy to do. You just need a blue button-up, a white t-shirt, suspenders, a belt, decent trousers.
The arm thing.
Some boots, and I have my vortex manipulator that I bought.
Yes, of course.
So,
and actually, the first cosplay you and I ever did together was at the Fayetteville Comic-Con. I went as the TARDIS, and you went as Jack Harkness.
That's right.
So
the only thing I haven't gotten, I guess if you really wanted to complete it, would be to get the, what's it called? Whibley? It's the gun holster that he has.
Yes.
But, I don't know. It's problematic, of course, for various reasons. Even a toy gun to have, so I figure it's just take it as read,
Yeah, like Red Nose Day.
But it's hard for me to think back to the original Captain Jack, the Series 1, if you're going New Who, Series 1, 9th Doctor, Chris Eccleston and Rose.
Are You My Mother, Jack Harkness?
Yes, Are You My Mummy? Yes. And I don't know. I can remember his first episode, and I can remember his sort of last series of episodes, because the 2-parter with the Daleks and Rose and the 9th Doctor regenerating. It's hard for me to remember the episodes in between of Captain Jack as purely companion.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, you're right. I don't think about him as
because for one thing, he's
the
not
guy who rides around with them.
Because he's obviously not dressed as sort of how I picture Captain Jack. He sort of has like the white t-shirt or the black vest or jacket or whatever. And
yeah.
He's purely companion then.
Yes, yeah. But of course that is not a relationship that can last because again, as Riversong says, only one psycho at a time. That's not what she says. What does she say?
One psychopath, yeah.
Only one psychopath at a time on the TARDIS. So it's not a sustainable thing for him to be a companion.
And I don't know, maybe this is looking back in retrospect, but I mean, John Barrowman is a hard personality to be sidekick,
Yes.
John Barrowman is such a huge personality in many ways. I mean, and you can see his subsequent work. I mean, I'm not even talking about West End or the stage. But like even on not Green Arrow, Arrow. Oh
yes,
he was on Arrow
of course,
for several seasons,
playing the father,
or playing the villain,
but playing the father of the best friend
of
Arrow.
You're right.
Yes. And Jack Harkness is not really a sidekick. He's not written as a sidekick.
I mean, because I think it's interesting, and again, reaching back for me, it's been a while since I've watched first season New Who, but he's sort of a damaged figure, or introduces sort of like a futuristic con man or whatever, the rogue, or the defeated time agent or whatever.
Yeah, well, and we see more of that in Torchwood when he's reunited with Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right.
That sort of history of something. We don't even really get a clear explanation of their relationship. but it is this, they've been off being naughty for a long time, and Spike doesn't understand why Jack Harkness is not that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Now, what, as much as you can remember, what do you sort of think of the initial introduction of Captain Jack?
Well, he's got that World War II thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember him. I mean, the first thing he does, I think, is makes out with Rose, isn't it?
I can't. Well, he's certainly picking her up literally because I think he has some sort of spaceship or
Yes,
whatever.
yeah.
But then I think he also is it's again hard to remember that, but I think he sort of intimates something to one of the guards or something, the British soldiers or something. But yes,
yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge kind of thing. But I mean, straight away you get that naughtiness, you get that cheekiness. Yeah, just delightful from the get-go. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's. I mean, there's so much you can talk about, but I think when I think of Captain Jack with 9, I'm not necessarily like, even though I think it's the first time that the 9 or the Doctor has flirted, because Captain Jack makes references and the Doctor's like, "Don't you wish?" or "Wouldn't you like to know?" or something like that. And we get a little hello.
Yeah. But I think whether it's the character or the actor that sort of brings that out in other characters.
Right.
How much fun would he and Riversong be together?
Oh my, they would explode.
Wouldn't they? How much fun would that be?
And I think, but then I was thinking of another moment. It's the penultimate, I think, episode of series 1, or however you do your number series. But basically, in the reality show, and he's on the
the Trini and Susanna, okay. Or Suzanne or Susanna, I can't remember now. The clothes that they wear, I can't remember exactly what it's called.
Then they sort of basically zap him naked, and he pretty much doesn't care.
Yeah, he's like, okay, yep, this is it. Until they start with the saw blades, and then he's a little bit, yeah.
But he also is a much more. He's almost an early River figure because he's a little more violent, I guess is the word, but I'm sure there's a better word. But he's more likely to, grab a gun and start shooting than the Doctor is, obviously.
Well, and I think there are certainly times when I think the Doctor needs that because he is not prepared to take up a weapon, and that is a completely respectable position to take. And so to keep him from having to do that, sometimes you have to have the companions who are willing to do that. So after but a series, of course, I mean half a series, I suppose, but of John Barrowman as Jack, I guess it didn't take long, and I don't know how long it even took for Russell T. Davies to think, you know what, I think I got to do a show around him. He gets his own show. Let me gather up other people who have been in Doctor Who and see if they'll be part of it as well.
Because we sort of get the series 2 teases of Torchwood. That is sort of the Torchwood season, because you sort of get the literal show that starts at episode that starts Torchwood, Tooth and the Hound or Tooth and the Claw or something like that, the werewolf episode.
Yeah, of course. Where at the end of it, Queen Victoria's like, right, let's start up this company.
And then we get the season finale. I'm sure it's a 2-parter where you get Torchwood 1 in London. And, of course, I guess actually even earlier than that, because Torchwood was mentioned in the first episode of David Tennant's first series, because that's how the Prime Minister blew up the aliens that they had encountered. The ones that he had fought with and told to go away. And then she's like, well, there's sometimes you're not around. She's like, go Torchwood. And they...
Oh, yeah, of course. And then he's like, you're looking awfully old.
A bit tired.
Yes.
But anyway, that's all to say.
Prime Minister, I love her too.
Barrowman basically got a year off, whether it was incidental or not. I guess maybe that's when they were filming.
Yeah.
And then next, because basically series 3 is basically series 1 of Torchwood.
Yeah.
So we posted a poll a couple days ago on our Twitter feed at Join Nerd Party. We certainly encourage you to follow us if you're not already. But I asked what was people's favorite stories of Captain Jack, and I offered 4 choices. It was the 9 Tennant Doctor adventures, so basically him on actually Doctor Who.
As companion, yeah.
And then I've put Torchwood seasons 1 and 2, because I feel like those are sort of organically together. Then I put Torchwood Children of Earth, and then Torchwood Miracle Day. So in last place, not surprising, at least to me, my wife may disagree, is Torchwood Miracle Day with 7%. And next to last place is Torchwood Children of Earth with 13% of the votes. So this is the top two. So which one do you think is first?
Ooh,
Torchwood or Doctor Who?
I think, considering our audience, I'm going to go with Doctor Who being first place.
With 53% of the votes, Torchwood, seasons 1 and 2.
Wow,
And
interesting.
The 9-10 Doctor Adventure had 27%.
Okay, so they really did like the Torchwood gang all together, which I think is fair. I mean, we're not finished yet with Miracle Day.
Right. I mean, I've seen it, but I'm...
Right.
Your first time
I
through it.
am not yet finished with Miracle Day, but it is just Jack and Gwen.
Mhm.
And that's...
And Reese. Don't forget Reese.
Oh, yes, of course, Reese. Don't. We have Welsh listeners. Don't do that. Don't. That's ugly.
Hey, he bought me a drink in Chicago TARDIS once. So.
Did he really?
Yeah, Kai Owen. I believe that's his name.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I was at Chicago TARDIS, and I can't remember what years ago at this point. And it was him, Gareth, is that his name? Yanto.
All right, yeah.
Was there as well. And I can't remember what others are. But those are the two big ones. But down in the hotel bar with my group, but Kai was downstairs, and he was at the bar. He ended up buying us drinks because he said if he went up to his hotel room, he was just going to miss his, I don't think they were married yet, but his partner, and their child. And so he just went downstairs and so had a nice chat with him. Yeah, he seems just like he is, a nice Welshman,
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. I do like Reese, but he's not officially Torchwood.
I know.
So
yes. But anyway.
So yeah, I think that all of them together in this episodic show, I think certainly is much more appealing. I'm enjoying Miracle Day, except it's so American.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that at some appropriate venue.
Yes.
So back to Captain Jack.
Yeah, sorry. Captain Jack and Torchwood.
So let's talk about sort of Captain Jack as the leader of Torchwood 3, I suppose technically, if we're being correct. But seasons 1 and 2 of Torchwood, I mean, we can talk about all of them if you want to, but seasons 1 and 2 of Torchwood, Captain Jack is leader of his gang and...
shagging all the people.
And having the doctor's hand...
in a jar
or something.
Yeah, in formaldehyde, I assume, or something like that.
But it's as and maybe we'll do a show one day about Doctor Who spinoffs. But as you think of them, I mean, I think Torchwood. I don't think Torchwood is bigger than Doctor Who. I'm not going to say that, but it's so separate and apart that it's I think it's a spinoff that sort of spins off very well. Like, in other words...
Yes, it stands alone very nicely. In fact, Holly, our friend from England who was here in January, talked about Torchwood being her show way more than Doctor Who was. That was the one that she really enjoyed. So, again, it stands alone. And I think that you could, except for the hand and the formaldehyde, you can pretty much watch that without knowing very much about Doctor Who at all.
Because I think the only, and someone can feel free to correct me, the only Doctor Who alien we ever see is the Cybermen from the one episode with Yanto and his cyber girlfriend. Or fiancé from Torchwood 1, which is sort of a spinoff from that.
Yeah, but even then, you don't have to know a lot about Doctor Who. These are just standalone villains, potentially.
But I mean, that's pretty much the only... Other than the reference of later in the 10th Doctor and Journey's End, when it's all the spin-offs together, Torchwood and Sarah Jane, and everyone comes together, and you have sort of the Daleks invading the hub. But that's Doctor Who. So, But Captain Jack... But we kind of learn a little bit more about Captain Jack. He's introduced as being... if you'd never seen him before, or Doctor Who, he's this mysterious figure, and
he can't be killed. I mean, that's established very early on.
Yeah, the first episode, and then his sexuality is sort of, it's the first couple episodes, and they're like,
I mean, he shags at least 2 of his coworkers that we know of.
And, but then his past is always like, where did he come from, and who is he,
and where did he go? Is he Cotton-Eyed Joe?
Yes, maybe.
Huh.
Well, Jack.
Cotton-Eyed Jack.
That's right.
Okay.
And so...
Joe's son. Like the Kennedys.
Yeah, pretty much. But he has the hair for it.
Yes, he does.
So, but yeah, I think it's interesting that, you do get teased some elements of his past.
Yeah, I mean, we get his brother.
Eventually.
Again, we get Spike.
Right.
And I'm not going to call him anything else
Why would
because,
you?
as we have talked about, the actor playing the character, what's his real name?
James Marston.
James Marston, is basically playing Spike.
Yeah, because he's American. He is. It's weird to see here, but he's an American, and so the fact that he plays that character, it's Spike.
That is, yeah. It's the exact same accent. It's
hair,
very similar to the clothes. It's Spike. So we're just going to call him Spike and consider it a crossover, perhaps.
It works.
But yeah, like I say, again, that relationship is never fully explored and explained in terms of their history.
And I think you can maybe, if you were trying to do this sort of the linear or doing the chronology of Captain Jack, you know, he has this tragic beginning with losing his brother, Gray, or the attack by whatever. Somehow ends up joining the Time Agency, whatever that means.
Yep, we don't know anything really about the Time Agency.
Other than they get vortex manipulators.
Yeah.
And that, you know, are they good, bad, in between? Who knows?
We got nothing.
But that there's sort of a dark side, a very dark side, I guess.
Yeah.
And all that. But eventually his arrival on Earth, or maybe when he was stranded on Earth and his time with the Doctor, and then his sort of, once you know, after series 2 Torchwood, then you learn the sort of origin story of him being discovered by Torchwood, and sort of,
yeah, of course,
the 100 years or however long, his career in Torchwood since then, waiting for the Doctor to come back, which is
referenced a lot. I mean, even in the 3rd season,
Children of Earth.
Yeah, that's right, where they go back and the people who, you know, hit the things that he did 50 years previous, or 40 years. Yeah.
To the 4, 5, 6.
Is coming back to haunt him, and the people that he had worked with have all been killed. And he talks about not being able to, he didn't know their names. He didn't know their real names. So,
yeah. But it's interesting, I think. He always gets sort of the great reveal or whatever, because I'm thinking of sort of the first episode of season 2 or series 2 of Torchwood. You know, when he's, you know, we know from Doctor Who he was sort of sucked by, you know, the TARDIS, or well, he jumped onto the TARDIS and had an adventure with the Doctor, and then came back, and he sort of got that great entry, you know, banging up the door and shooting the lobster fish guy, and like, hey kids, did you miss me? And he sort of has that. But I think Captain Jack also, I mean, in Torchwood especially, has this sort of dark side. Like, he'll do anything if he thinks it's right.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
killing or whatever.
His grandson.
Yeah.
And it's such a wonderful performance moment for John Barrowman. Because you do see that torture of one child or millions. And the sacrifice and... But that's another thing that makes him very mysterious. I mean, he's got a daughter and a grandchild out there, and we got nothing. We got nothing. You know, we aren't given any history to that.
Yeah, what has he been doing for these 100 years on Earth?
Yeah. And, you know, it's just sort of taken as read. Here's his daughter and his grandson calls him Uncle Jack, and that's all we know.
And because we haven't gotten there yet, Miracle Day, so this is only a minor spoiler. There will be a flashback episode of Miracle Day for Captain Jack.
Oh, okay.
So
all right, so we'll get a little bit.
Yeah, so a relationship he had in the early 20th century.
Excellent. And then, of course, in one of the Doctor Who episodes, we get the Face of Bo reference.
Yeah, so what do you think about that? Is that a tease? Where, in your headcanon, where does it fit?
I don't know that it matters to me where it fits. You know,
no, in other words, is he the Face of Bo?
Oh,
or is
yeah.
it just a...
Yeah, he can't die.
Right. But the Face of Bo dies.
Well, yeah, but that's when the Earth dies, isn't it? Or the world ends, or the universe ends, or whatever. I mean, it's ages away. So yeah, no, I'm comfortable with it, and I kind of like it. I like it as an idea.
Wise old head.
Yeah. Giant head by then. I'm interested in how that all happened.
I'm sure there's a Captain Jack joke in there somewhere.
Yep. But yeah, no, I like the idea of him being the Face of Bo.
Yeah, and like I said, I think, you know, for instance, you mentioned Children of Earth. I think with his grandson, I mean, it helped he was the only kid that was handy. But also, I think it was also the price he was paying. When
the penance.
Yes. Getting rid of all the, sacrificing those dozen children or however many it was to the 4, 5, 6. And,
yeah. Unfortunately, it wasn't the penance that his daughter signed up for.
No. But I think that's Jack. He will do anything and he will cross the line and he'll do whatever it takes. But he'll also know that there's going to be consequences and a price to pay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Which suggests that that's not a first-time experience.
Right.
So
what do you think is the sort of the magnetism of the Captain Jack character?
I mean, he's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's certainly that. There's always just a little bit of a cheeky twinkle in his eye.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people just are drawn to that. And the fact that he is an equal opportunity flirt. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your gender. He's going to flirt. That's going to be a thing.
There's a great YouTube clip of Captain Jack flirting. That may very well be the title of him just like saying hello to people and the Doctor just going, stop. He's like, I was just saying hello.
Yep. A little bit of Joey Tribbiani, how you doing? That kind of thing. And yeah, I think that, because that sort of attention makes anybody feel special. Mm. And so seeing him treat so many people like they're special.
And there's a bit of the Doctor in Captain Jack because as the Doctor, more or less lives forever, changes. But Captain Jack lives forever, face of bow notwithstanding. But the fact that it's a whole, people that he knows and love will die. Mm-hmm. And so can he ever be with someone? And so what do you sort of think of?
Well, and Yonto has that moment of, you're going to watch me grow old and watch me die. And Jack's like, yeah, that's a thing. Mm-hmm. But of course, then,
Yonto dies, yes.
Yonto dies. Not ready really to talk about that just yet. Mm-hmm. But, that idea, and it's exactly the same thing that the Doctor struggles with. It's what Sarah Jane says to the Doctor. Mm-hmm. You left me so you wouldn't have to watch me grow old.
Because I think, and I don't know, I sometimes feel it's overplayed, but I appreciate some of the Gwen-Jack part because Gwen usually grounds Jack. She's almost his companion. Actually, I don't know. I think that's unfair because I think she's kind of more level playing field after a while with him. But at least, for lack of a better analogy, she's the companion as Doctor's companions are of the heart,
the grounding,
the conscience or whatever. And so that when Captain Jack's willing to do anything, she's like, hold on, wait a minute, let's think about the cost here. Yeah. And sometimes he ignores her, sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah. And I like Gwen, but we'll come back to her later.
But yeah, so how do you feel? Because it seemed Yonto was reaching out for a relationship, but Captain Jack was doing I don't do couples, or I don't do. What do you think how Captain Jack was?
I mean, I think that's part of it. Mm-hmm. The idea of nothing. I mean, how long can you last? Mm-hmm. If Captain Jack is 35 and Yonto is 30, how long do they have together before it starts to become weird? Mm-hmm. Yonto aging and Captain Jack always being 35. Mm-hmm. Can they stay together when Yonto's 55? Can they stay together when Yonto's 65? So it's not even watching your loved one die, grow old and die. Mm-hmm. It's whilst also staying the same age.
Can cause some resentment from the aging partner.
Well, and some resentment from the non-aging partner who,
the young and do stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, he goes off and picks up the guy from Titanic shortly thereafter. And, and that's also who Jack is. Mm-hmm. And so whether or not he is capable of making any sort of long-term commitment, much less one that is so uneven, right, and is always going to be uneven.
But is there anything to be said? Because again, I don't know British television as much as you do. Of having now, of course, Captain Jack is sort of, I don't know what the right word is, pansexual, whatever the word is, because I know there's so many catchphrases about
fluid, sexually fluid.
Yeah, but having a character like that, how common is that in British TV?
I imagine, and I don't know for sure.
Because we sure see him naked a lot.
We do, and I think that that's what the British public wants.
Right.
To be fair. I don't know that it's all... I think it's becoming more common.
Right.
But at the time that it came out, I think it was just a thing.
Yeah.
And I think in a way that America might have made a bigger deal out of it. I mean, I'm thinking about the woman from Orange is the New Black. I can see Laverne Cox.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yes.
And so, and that was a thing, and everybody wanted to talk about it. And that's fine, and we should talk about it and all of those sorts of things. But I think the British just sort of go, okay. Okay, that's a thing. We're moving into the next section.
At least I think, whether I know or not, British TV is a little more sexy than American TV. Whereas American TV is a little more violent than British TV. But
yeah, after the watershed.
Yeah, but you sort of get a lot more of making out. Jack makes out with lots of people.
He does. Yes.
I mean, the sort of like the infamous, well, in my eyes, but again, the season 2 Torchwood episode 1 with Spike and him, beating each other up and then making out. Sort of there.
That's just the way things go.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about the man behind the jacket.
Okay.
John Barrowman.
Yes.
So, did you have any exposure, if you will?
I was just going to say, I can't remember if I've told my John Barrowman story before.
Pray tell.
I was doing a play. I was performing an Amdram show in the Guildford Castle grounds. And I can't remember which one it was now. But that's unimportant. So I was doing what I do every day, walking from my flat to the Guildford Castle grounds, and I'm doing through the first gate, which is really just sort of pylons. There's a car. I'm minding my own business, and there's a car in there, and I'm like, well, there shouldn't be car. You can't have a car in the Guildford Castle grounds. That's strange. And so then I sort of look up properly, and they're filming something. Mm-hmm. And John Barrowman's there filming things. So I was on my own, so I immediately kept going. I went to where we were performing the show, and one of my close friends, one of my best friends, Nathan, and I was like, Nathan, John Barrowman's totally down there. And Nathan freaks out. And so we went back down and handed him flyers for our show.
Awesome.
Yeah, he didn't come see it, but, there you go.
Yeah, you always gotta try.
You gotta try, yeah.
Now, I wasn't super close to him, but my experience was I was in Cardiff for Doctor Who craziness, as usual, and Torchwood craziness. And we timed our visit, the group I was with, that it would also be John Barrowman in concert at Cardiff, his adopted hometown, because he and Scott, I think is his husband, have a place there. So I saw John Barrowman in concert. I'm trying to remember the venue, but we were definitely in the back. But nevertheless, it was pretty cool. And he does the concert like he normally does. He has this I don't know if you've ever heard it. He has his own Doctor song that he's written.
Oh,
his
Lord.
Ode to the Doctor.
Excellent.
And I'm sure it's like a parody of a song, but I can't remember what it's a parody of. But anyway, yes, his Ode to the Doctor. And then there's a part where it's a song that he sings and his parents come on stage and dance.
Aww.
Yeah, because his parents often, and I don't know the status of they're all still living or anything. But anyway, of course, he's Scottish parents. Have you ever heard John Barrowman speak Scottish?
Yes and no. I mean, when he talks normally, you can often catch, because I think my first actual experience with John Barrowman, not in person, was one of the
Who are you?
No, it was a singing competition. Okay. They were trying to find. I can't remember if it was Maria or Joseph.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably Joseph. I think I watched Joseph more than Maria, and so he was a judge on that, and they were trying to find the next Joseph for Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And so in his normal, regular, I'm in Britain talking voice, it's like, it's such a hybrid in a way that probably to an extent my accent is sometimes. There's this not American, Scottish, some words and some lilts and things like that.
I'll have to show you after this recording is over, YouTube of when he's at home. He turns 100%.
Well, I can believe
and
it.
So
I can believe it.
I think I heard once. I don't know if this is true or not. I heard it freaks his husband out. Like, don't do that.
Yeah. Don't make me feel like I'm married to somebody else. It's weird. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I can believe it. But yeah, absolutely. And again, that's one of the things as somebody who, became a little bit hybrid, I can completely understand it. I think my accent changes when I go to England, or when I'm around British people, or even when I'm trying to speak more professionally, quote unquote, So, yeah, I completely get that.
But to me, it is interesting. Again, I mean, I'm one of them, but I think it's interesting how that character has attracted so many fans. And because I think it led to the success, at least because I think Torchwood has fans that are hardcore. Like there's so many fandoms out there that are not, big, but what was it like the whole, it's not wide, but it's, deep.
Yes.
Whereas other ones that are very wide, but thin, and so.
Aww.
Yeah, and so.
Bless.
But, I'm thinking of, I'm not trying to pick it. Well, I won't even name it.
A little bit fierce.
But I was just thinking of, sitcoms that have lots of people watching them, but I wouldn't say those people are diehard fans, whereas opposed you have diehard. And so I think that's how Torchwood got to be so, successful as it was. So in other words, to have the three series, and then to go away for years, and then people be like, when are we getting the next series?
Yeah.
When are we getting the next series? When are we getting the next series?
And after the fourth one, people still shouted it, and we're getting something.
Well, we're getting Big Finish now, and that's one thing I think we're looking for, at least I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Speak for You. I think it's already out now. I can't remember what it's called, but the latest Torchwood Big Finish with all the original cast back.
Yeah.
So it's something I'm looking forward to listening to. But yeah, Captain Jack, I just think, like you said, he has that sort of movie star quality, charm, attraction, equal opportunity. I actually have seen him before. I saw him in person at, I can't remember if it was Raleigh or Durham. Went to a comic convention.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And it was sort of like separate and apart. Like before we even went to the con, there's a sort of separate place where it was sort of, you had him and he was on stage, and he's I don't know what the right word is, flirt awful, he's just cracking jokes the entire time, being very naughty and everything. Question and answer. I actually did get to ask him a question. I was the first one, because they're like, who wants to ask questions? And you have all that awkward moment. Everyone's like, not me. I'm like, I'll go. Bye.
Yeah.
I'll log to this microphone.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah.
So, but
did
anyway.
he flirt with you?
No. My question, I can't remember his answer, which I feel very bad. I wish I remember, but I asked him, what is his favorite musical to listen to, and what would be his favorite musical to be in?
Ah.
I can't remember what. I think one of his answers was one he listened to while working on a project of some sort, so he always had that, and I can't remember. But anyway, because, obviously, and I'm surprised we never saw Captain Jack, even though he's not that's not his character, but no, Captain Jack never
musical,
sang.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's that
think
famous...
about Patti LuPone
Yeah.
when she was in the late 80s, early 90s
the
television
sitcom,
show.
yeah.
Wasn't a sitcom.
Well,
but,
I know the drama.
Life Goes On. I
Yeah.
can't remember if that was
I think
what it was
Life Goes On,
called.
yeah.
But she did. She sang. And then Katie Siegel in John Ritter, something about dating my daughter or something.
Oh, the 10 Rules for Dating My Daughter.
Yeah. And she sang and all of those sorts of things. And we never get that.
I mean, there's these sort of extra... I mean, it's not a part of the episode, obviously, of him singing... In olden days.
Oh, right. Anything goes.
One of the Torchwoods. It was in the Torchwood episode where they go back in time with the original Captain
Oh,
Jack.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just him singing in the sort of the 40s club there.
Yeah.
So that's very cool. Okay.
So
any final thoughts about why Captain Jack is so interesting? Is it just the coat?
Yeah. That's all it is. It's the coat and the bottom.
Right.
And fingers crossed we get to see him maybe a little bit with 13. That'd be fun.
It'd be interesting. I know he's always happy to come back.
Yeah. Or again with River Song. I just think that would be...
That'd be a good big finish, because we can't do things on screen, but that'd be a great River and...
Yeah, going off on adventures for a while together. Anyway, right, into the TARDIS library, my darling.
Now, I did have to scratch the head a little bit about to find a good classic Who that would connect to Captain Jack.
And to be fair, you may have gone over the line.
That's fine. I will always do that.
It's a tenuous link at best.
That's right. But again, Captain Jack is so unique, it's hard to find a classic Who, analogy or analogous person. But this is what I thought. John Barrowman, star many times for the West End.
Broadway, yeah.
Yeah. And who else in Doctor Who? A companion of sort that was a star of the West End, or at least has been there and performed. And I thought that would be, of course, Mel.
Bonnie
Langford. That's her name, right?
Langford, yeah.
And so, I don't remember all of the Seventh Doctor's adventures, but I know his first series is not generally considered a lot of good stories, so I figured we had done one of his earlier ones, or we had done the introduction of Mel before.
Yes.
With the Trial of the Time Lords.
Yeah.
Of course, with 6.
Yep.
And so I thought we'd get her exit, and that's with Dragonfire.
Yes.
This first premiered 23 November 1987, and this again was the Seventh Doctor, and is Mel's last series. And so you want to give us a very brief synopsis.
It is a very brief synopsis from TARDIS.wikia. As trouble brews on the space-trading colony of Iceworld, the Doctor and Mel encounter their sometimes allies Sabalom Glitz and a new friend who goes by Ace.
Ace!
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 Bless her heart. So 80s. So 80s.
The music is, there's these musical cues like, the synthetic, and like, if you took that out, this thing would be a little bit more lasting than...
Yes, yeah.
You're not helping yourself.
Took the synthesizer. I mean, the hair and the outfits don't help.
Right, and I can forgive
but
the music.
As you say, the synth definitely places it in a very specific moment in time.
But, and we can talk a little more about the episode, but like, as far as Mel goes, that's a little disappointing. I mean, I feel like she gets, from what I read out there, and folks, listeners, you can disagree with me. I mean, I don't know if I'd have to think about my personal opinion, but generally it seems, at least in whatever general means, that Mel's not well thought of as a companion. Nothing against Bonnie, of course, but, you can only do as much as what you're given, and so... her goodbye episode, not that it's really her goodbye episode, but it's her last one, doesn't really get much for her.
No, not at all.
I think Ace gets a lot more than Mel does.
Yeah, and at the end of it, when they've wrapped it all up, Mel's like, okay, well, I'm leaving. And the Doctor's like, okay. And Mel's like, but Ace is still here, you should take her with you. And the Doctor's like, okay. And that's it. There's no reason why she's leaving. There's no drama. There's no, what am I going to do without you? There's no moping around until the green lady tells him to snap out of it. It is just, I'm leaving now, but Ace is here. Okay.
Ace?
Yeah. And she has nitrogen hairspray or something. I didn't get all of that.
And the fact that she wants to hang around with Glitz, who's not exactly, seems like the most interesting companion to be around.
Well, yeah.
Well, I won't say...
probably very interesting.
Yeah, too interesting.
Yeah.
But, Mel seems like a nice girl. I don't know why she wants to hang around Glitz.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice, cheery girl. I want to hang around the guy who's like the rogue
She's going
thief.
through a bad boy phase or
guess.
something. It's, yeah. Yeah, that was a shame. But, there you go.
Yeah. So, because usually with a goodbye, and to be stereotypical, it's usually like, you get and I think we talked about this with Adric last time, that's when you usually get she has a bunch of lines and a whole story and characterization. Yeah, where she's saying goodbye now, and I know we probably should have done this earlier, but better late than never, right? This one's sort of like, it's Mel. She screams. We're good.
Yep. The end.
Yeah. So, I and you've only missing, I think, about 3 or 4 serials with Mel. Otherwise, you've seen it all.
Bless.
So, yeah, I don't think she really gets a fair chance. For whatever reason, writers or...
Well, and she needed to go off and do West End and then soap operas, so...
But I guess, since there's not a lot to this episode, would you think a little bit more of the Seventh Doctor?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand why he climbed into that ice cave and hung by his umbrella, but whatever.
Exactly. And then, I don't know, I really do enjoy Ace. She's probably in my top 10 companions, so... what can you want? Girl that
Yeah,
blows
I mean,
stuff
I
up
think
and
she's plucky. I think she's got a lot going for her. She's
dumping milkshakes left and right.
dumping milkshakes and throwing nitrogen hairspray hither and yon.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that she kept saying Ace all the time
Ace.
got a little bit on my nerves. Does she continue to do that?
I think it's just the first episode.
I was going to say, because I don't remember
Or,
her
what was the
doing
other
that
one?
in the cat
Brill?
episode.
Brill.
Well, yeah. But yeah, Ace felt forced. Brill, I can get behind a little more.
I don't think you should say your own name.
Yeah. Or, oh, I'm known for this, and so everybody calls me,
Well, Dorothy. I mean...
Yeah, fair. But, you could go with Dottie or Dot or...
I guess she's sort of the Arrested Development version of Steve Holt.
Yeah. Yes. Bless her heart. In a punk rock
How do
world.
you... And the age thing, because, with Rose, she's supposed to be what? 19?
19, yeah. I think she specifically says at some point 19.
And I think that she does not pull that off. I mean, I think she's 20. You do early 20s. I don't think it hurts the storyline to say 20, 21. Yeah. I don't know what to do. But, Ace, 16. I mean, Sophie does not look 16. I mean, that's not a critique. I mean, when you're 26 or however old she was in real life, it's hard to look 16. But again, I don't know why they always choose these young age. I think you go 18, 19, 20. Does that really destroy I don't know.
No, and I don't think there's any reason you can't be like a proper grown-up either. I mean, Donna made it work.
Yeah.
Even to an extent. Martha makes it work. Clara is...
Well, and I guess to go to the classic Who era, if they're trying to get the kids to watch.
Yeah.
Because, Adric's young, Nissa's young, Tegan's young. I mean, that's what I immediately think of. Susan, if you want to go that far back.
Yeah, and Ace is properly down with the kids.
Yeah, but you can still, I don't know. 18, I guess, would have been much more. I don't know. Because 16 just being problematic sometimes.
Yes, yeah. Traveling around with an older gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're listening to a podcast about this very thing, aren't we?
Yeah, we're listening to a criminal podcast, hence the title of the name.
Yes. Yeah. But, yeah. It's called Criminal for a reason, yo.
That's right.
But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is a day of Jimmy Savile, so it's acceptable. Sorry, all my British people, for bringing that up. So, yeah. You make do and you assume nobody got molested.
Exactly.
That's what we go with. So what are we going to talk about next week, darling?
Well, because we've sort of brought it up, and since we're almost done with Miracle Day, we're going to just get into Torchwood. I know this is a Doctor Who podcast, but it's a Doctor Who spinoff. And so we can talk about how it is like Doctor Who, how it isn't, and how it moved beyond that or didn't. And, we've been watching all of Torchwood slowly. Of course, the anagram of Doctor Who is Torchwood.
Is it really? I'm terrible. First of all, I'm terrible at anagrams. But, that's really interesting.
And so, because it was originally used, this is off the top of my head, and I apologize if this sounds like mansplaining, it was originally used to mask a Doctor Who script. I don't know if it was like a season finale, and so they referred to it as Torchwood.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I think it was Russell used that.
I like that.
But anyway,
I don't feel mansplained to. You're okay.
But we're going to be talking about Torchwood as soon as we finish Miracle Day. Hopefully we finish it in time, because it is a rather American season. It is. Yeah,
it's running long. I keep thinking, why isn't this done yet? We've
compared to Miracle Day in the 5 episodes.
Yeah,
or excuse me, Children of Earth. But.
Yeah, absolutely. But maybe we'll watch one tonight.
Sure.
And maybe if we get a chance, because we're not terribly busy this week, maybe we can, if the big finish is out.
Yes, we could. I'm assuming it's long, which is good. But yeah, we can at least start it.
On Saturday we have a 2-hour drive.
Oh, that's true. We are going. It's Memorial Day in America, Memorial Day weekend, and so obviously it's the 3-day. We are going to go see my niece turn 1.
Yes, I mean we're not actually just going to sit around and watch her turn 1. That would be weird.
Well, she may have turned 1 before we've gotten there. So.
That's true. Yeah.
You know how children.
Although we were there when
a watch
she was.
Baby is never something.
yeah. Watch baby never boils. I think, which I think is appropriate. Which is why you should always watch your babies. But yeah, we were there when she was about 3 days old. We got to help her parents bring her home from the hospital, and now we get to go celebrate her first birthday, and we're all going to sit around and talk about whether or not she's going to be a ginger.
That's right.
Her Uncle Phillip and her, Gigi, what's grandma?
Yeah, Gigi, that's right.
Is it Gigi?
My mom.
Yes.
But we will definitely try to nerd her up because that's our position with all babies that we know.
Yes. Yeah.
We will nerd people up.
Well, that is, in fact, it's what we do with everybody.
What's the purpose of this podcast? We're nerding you up as you're listening to it.
We are nerding you. You are welcome.
Exactly. So until next week, darling, you're my favorite star in all of time and space.
And you're my favorite nerd, sweet man.
This is BBC Television.